Hello everyone and welcome back to FunMathology. Now today's topic is very interesting. This is basic geometry. Now today we'll go through certain definitions and terms like plane, point, line, line segment and ray. So before the starting of geometry, we need to clear up these concepts and definitions because when you go dive deeper into geometry, you'll be needing this. At least the basic concepts of plane, point, line, line segment and ray. So let's start today's lecture with plane. Now what is a plane? See, if I want to draw a plane, a rough figure, I can draw in this way. Okay, showing arrow on all sides. Now what does it mean? It means a plane is a smooth flat surface which extends infinitely in all directions. Okay, so plane is a smooth flat surface which extends infinitely in all directions, like a tabletop. Okay, a whiteboard, a book cover can be an example of this plane. Got it? Now figures like triangles, okay, circles, squares, you have seen them. These are all examples of plane figures. Now definitely remember this, a ball cannot be a plane figure because a ball, right, cannot be a plane figure because that is 3D, that is not 2D. In 2D we see this kind of plane figures. Okay, so this is plane. Now let's come to point. Now what is a point? The point, now here it gets very interesting because a point is nothing but a dot on a surface. It's just a dot on a surface. Okay, it's just a dot on a surface. It shows a definite position. It shows a definite position. It has no length, no breadth, no height. So what is this? It is represented by a dot and a capital letter like example A, maybe B, maybe dot anything, right? So for example, I can write, say for example, this is a dot, I can name it as A, so I can call it point A, right? So I can do this. So a point is a dot on a surface. It shows a definite position or location. It has no length, no size, no shape. Okay, so no length, no size, no shape. Got it? It has nothing. It is represented by a dot and a capital letter. Okay, there are certain examples like tip of a pen. So tip of a pen. Okay, now corner of a box, and obviously you have seen Google Maps, the location, so that is a point. Got it? Next, let's come to line. A line is a combination of many dots, infinite dots. So if you start by creating infinite dots, so go on creating them, okay, and join them adjacently, right? It forms a line. A line is a combination of many points, right, placed adjacent to each other and extended infinitely in either direction. That is why it has no starting point and no ending point. So we can actually show it in this way. Now see the arrows on both the end. It shows that this goes to infinity on either directions. Okay, so a line is a combination of many points placed adjacent to each other and extended infinitely in either direction. It has neither the starting point nor an end point. So to show the point of infinity in a line, so we put an arrowhead on both the end. And how we represent it? So we represent in this way. For example, let's say this is M and this is N. So we represent in this way, MN, or we can show it in this way, NM. See the arrowheads, small arrowheads. So designating a line in this way or representing it. So for example, if I write MN above the arrowheads, it represents that MN is a line. Got it? So let's come to line segment. So we generally in real world, we do not deal with lines, infinity. We want something which is finite. So let's come to a line segment. A line segment has a fixed length. So we represent it in this way, right? Let's say 2 dots and XY. And what is the notation? So notation is XY. So there is no arrowhead to identify that this has a fixed length, or we can designate in this way and this way. Okay, YX or XY, just a small line without a arrowhead. So a line segment has a fixed length. It has 2 endpoints. Always remember the starting and the end points. Always has 2 endpoints and cannot be, obviously, as this line segment has a fixed length, it cannot be extended to infinity or on either end. So if I write in this way, it represents that this is a line segment. It has a starting point of X and end point of Y or X. In either way you can say. Okay, so let's come and what are the examples of line segment that you see every day? Okay, see, edge of a book is a line segment. Edge of your smartphone can be a line segment. A thin rod, a tube light, okay, a meter rod are all examples of. Also the edge of a ruler. Okay, edge of a ruler is also an example of line segment, right? So let's come to the last topic of the day, that is of the lecture, that is ray. Okay, so you have seen sun rays, a ray from a bulb or a ray from the flashlight or a torch can be examples of ray. So a ray is a line extended infinitely in one directions only. So a line means extended in both directions, but a ray I can represent in this way. Okay, so starting point will be P and it goes infinity. So I can represent in this way. See, so P, it represents P is the starting point, it goes infinity. Got it? So see, the light from a bulb or a flashlight torch, the sun, are examples of ray. A ray is a line extended infinitely in one direction. It has a fixed starting point and no fixed length. So see, what I have drawn here can be represented in this way, but cannot be represented in this way. Cannot be represented in this way because this would be different. If I ought to represent this, then this would be represented in this way. This is Q, this is P. So the Q would be the starting point. Then I could represent this in this way, right? So always remember PQ here, the notation, and QP here, notation are entirely different. Okay. So always remember, from a point, infinite number of rays can be drawn. So from a point, infinite number of rays can be drawn. So these are the things that we done today. So let's recap. We did plane, we did point, we did line segment and ray. Okay. So students, you might be asked in question papers, you might be asked to find out or enumerate the differences between the point and a line, or a line and a line segment, or a line segment and rays. Okay, so you got to know these features of these basic geometrical thing like plane, point, line segment and rays. So I hope you have followed my lectures. These are very simple definitions, so it is not at all difficult. So you might face certain questions in your question paper. Okay. So we are ending the lectures here. Thanks for watching, students. Thank you very much. We'll soon meet. Bye bye.